over 80 years, there's been one rule that defines Batman more than anything else. He doesn't kill. It's the line in the sand, the moral code that separates him from the criminals he puts away. He's a symbol of justice, not vengeance. But that wasn't always the case. In the very beginning, he wasn't just a vigilante, he was judge, jury, and executioner. This is the story of the Batman who killed. Picture it, 1939. Superman is a smash hit, and DC Comics is desperate for another one. Artist Bob Kane sketches a character he calls the Batman, but his version looks almost nothing like the hero we know, complete with red tights and a flimsy pair of bat wings. That's where writer Bill Finger stepped in. Finger was the true architect of the icon. He suggested a darker, more intimidating look. The famous cowl, flowing cape, and a simple gray and black suit that would blend into the shadows. More importantly, Finger gave the character a gritty, pulp noir personality inspired by figures like the Shadow. Their creation hit the stands in Detective Comics number 27 in a story called The Case of the Chemical Syndicate. This wasn't your friendly neighborhood hero. This was a creature of the night, and the police saw him as a menace. His debut set him up as a brilliant detective, but also a brutally efficient fighter. And while the last panels revealed the Batman was secretly the socialite Bruce Wayne, the biggest shock wasn't who he was, but what he was willing to do. The day's Batman would have carefully collected clues to take down the story's villain, a corrupt businessman named Alfred Stryker. The 1939 Batman had a more direct solution. In their final showdown, Batman doesn't just disarm Stryker, he punches him straight into a vat of acid. As the villain disappears into bubbling chemicals, Batman coldly remarks, "A fitting end for his kind." And this wasn't a one-time thing, it was a norm. In his first year of publication, Batman's methods were consistently lethal. He kicked a henchman off a skyscraper to his death, snapped another's neck, and even trapped a villain in a burning building. This wasn't a superhero, he was something out of a horror. Terrifying force that criminals were right to fear. He wasn't just fighting crime, he was eradicating it, one fatal blow at a time. So, where did all this brutality come from? 6 months after his debut in Detective Comics number 33, Finger and Kane finally gave their hero his motivation, the murder of his parents. The image of a young Bruce Wayne kneeling over the bodies of Thomas and Martha Wayne would become the defining moment of his entire mythology. But don't mistake this for the purely idealistic crusade we know today. While Bruce does swear and knows to spend his life warring on all criminals, the mission was fueled by raw, personal desire for vengeance. He became the Bat, not just to inspire hope, but to inflict the same terror on criminals that he felt as a child. The original Batman was direct, unfiltered response to the violence that shadowed his world. So, if he started as a killer, what changed? The first big shift happened just a year after his debut, with the introduction of Robin in 1940. Suddenly, Batman wasn't a lone angel of vengeance anymore. He was a mentor and a father figure. And the dark, violent tone of the story started to lighten up for his new young partner. The most critical change, though, came from behind the scenes. An editor at DC named Whitney Ellsworth grew worried that a hero who kills was a terrible influence on the kids who made up most of their audience. He laid down a new editorial mandate. Batman could no longer kill or use a gun. This new rule was stated explicitly for the first time in Batman number 4, where the Caped Crusader warns Robin during a sword fight, "Remember, we never kill with weapons of any kind." It wasn't a choice Batman made in the story. It was a business decision that fundamentally altered the legend. Much later, in 1954, the industry-wide Comics Code Authority would be formed, cementing these kinds of non-lethal standards for all comics. But Batman's iconic rule was already long in place by then. This all begs a fascinating question. Was that original, brutal Batman a more effective crime fighter? Is the modern no-kill rule a noble ideal, or a tactical flaw that just lets evil survive to fight another day? Let me know what you think in the comments.